Batman Arkham Shadow, all I can say so far is wow. I've been a huge Batman fan for almost my entire life, so I'm going to make a longer video about this game after I've played all the way through it, but in this video I wanted to specifically address the combat for anyone who's played the Flatscreen Arkham games and was worried VR couldn't replicate that experience. If you've played through the Flatscreen Arkham games, then you know that the combat in those games is incredibly fluid. You can be in the middle of throwing a flurry of punches into the face of one enemy, only to stop mid-combat to block and counter another incoming attack, then dash across the screen to kick the crap out of some other enemy. I didn't think they'd be able to replicate that gameplay experience in VR. I thought maybe they could make the combat fun, but it wouldn't be anything like the Arkham games, but boy was I wrong. The way you initiate combat is by literally throwing a punch at an attacker, and if another attacker sneaks up on you, then you'll get the same blue warning symbol as in the Flatscreen Arkham games, and all you have to do is thrust your hand out to the side to block them, and the camera will automatically rotate your POV towards that new thug, who you can then continue to pummel. If you're at a distance from the thug, then all you have to do is throw a punch at them and you'll fly across the screen to deliver a blow. Turn your head, see another enemy coming, throw your fist at that one, then throw your fist at another, and repeat until suddenly you're stringing combos together. Getting combos rewards you with special techniques that cause more damage and usually bring about an instant knockout. Just like in the Flatscreen Arkham games, if you encounter a heavily armored enemy, then you can stun them with a cape attack and deliver a beatdown. You can also deliver a beatdown to enemies that have been stunned and are on the ground. The single biggest difference between flat screen combat and VR combat, of course, is that in the flat screen games, you're just pushing buttons, and in Arkham Shadow, you're actually throwing physical punches into the air that are being registered with the motion controllers. So, this game is more of a workout than sitting on the couch, but to me, that's part of the fun of VR. Being Batman from a first-person POV and having to turn your head to see things and move your hands to do things makes for a much more immersive experience. The other thing that's different from the flat screen games is that to perform a combo, you sometimes have to throw your punches to a specific part of the enemy's body or in a certain direction. You'll receive visual cues for this, similar to a rhythm game, and if you miss them, then the enemy will block your attack and interrupt your combo. It actually makes the combat a bit more realistic than in the flat screen games because, well, in those games, the only thing the common thugs usually block Batman's punches with is their face. Now, on to the stealth combat, and this is where the combat really feels a lot like the Arkham games. It's got the same basic premise of hanging from the rafters of these gargoyle statues that, for some reason, are conveniently located in the interior of Gotham City's buildings. I always found that funny, like Gotham's architects just knew that they had to make special accommodations for Batman in case their buildings got taken over by criminals. Anyway, you can perch up there, hang upside down, and then grab the thugs and string them up. Or you can do a glide kick if you get the drop on them. Likewise, you can also sneak up on them to do a quiet takedown, including by hiding underneath the floor grates. Basically, you can perform the same functions that you could in the flat screen Arkham games. It's actually quite remarkable. Now, of course, Batman also has an assortment of gadgets, and there's also an upgrade path, but I haven't really leveled up that much yet. All I've gotten to use is the Batarang and a smoke pellet, but both of them are pretty cool. One thing I'll also say is that I feel like the thugs are better at spotting Batman in this game than they are in the other Arkham games. I appreciate that because the thugs are blind as a bat in some of the flat screen games. I always found it hilarious how, after they initially spotted you, you could just swing around for a little bit and then suddenly they just have no idea where you are anymore. Like, oh well, I guess I better not look up at the rafters where I just spotted Batman a minute ago. In Arkham Shadow, it felt like the thugs kept their line of sight on you for a little bit longer, which made it more challenging and immersive. But I'm not sure if that's just a difference in perception caused by the first-person POV, or if it's an actual programmed gameplay difference. In summation, if you're new to VR or otherwise were concerned that Arkham Shadow wouldn't replicate the gameplay of the previous games in the series, then fear not. This is most definitely an Arkham game, and perhaps the most immersive one yet, so you should definitely check it out. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. As I said, I'm a huge Arkham fan and Batman fan more generally, so I'm looking forward to playing through this game in its entirety and making a longer video about it. If you think you'd be interested in that, then please hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you again in the not too distant future. Take care.